All right, so let's get the show started. Our guest is in the waiting room. It's the Arty 84 show live here, episode 207. Of course, out of the mouth to the left of me, we have a guest comedian tonight, Anthony Devito. Did I just make that up? That's right, I guess, right? Wait a minute.
Sorry, though. How was the rest of your day, by the way?
Yeah, Anthony Devito. Why did I think that was wrong? It was easy. I left at 4. Nice
I figured it would be. There's nothing. Tomorrow's going to be even worse.
It was 0 inside there in a thing when I left, so I was the last one in the office. Not that there was many of us in there today, because we had COVID scare 2021. Because every Christmas time, we need a COVID scare in the office. Last year was one of our bosses. This year was one of our coworkers.
Yeah.
And we all got scared. Well, I mean, not get scared, but we just precautionary purposes.
Yeah, some other older people.
Yeah.
Just being responsible.
Make everyone else happy, you know?
Yeah.
But, what are you going to do? I was able to score in-home kit, which I've been reading, and it's like, actually, those things are more likely to be false positives than negatives, so it's actually pretty good. So they hardly ever go the other way. And if they do, it was like a pregnancy test. It either comes pink. Pink means you have COVID, which is weird. And blue means you're good. And if you see pink and blue, that means you're fucked up.
Well, as I said to you the other day, I was shocked you got one. You should have played the lottery. I mean, it's almost like trying to get a Furby during the 1998 holiday season.
You're right.
Test right now. It's almost impossible.
When I went to lunch today, I stopped at I didn't even make it into Walgreens. They already had a big sign on the door saying we're out of tests. And then I was in Target anyways. I had to do some shopping, and they didn't have any in there either. So I would advise people out there, if you do come across them, I know stores are putting limits on how many you can buy at this point. I think you only can buy 2. Yeah. Just get one. Keep it in your house, because you never know. Because it's better to have it in your house, just in case a situation happened with us yesterday. Then you can just go home.
I do have a feeling this is going to be the one for me. I just have a feeling.
You think you got it?
I do. I not because I feel sick or anything. The lymph node thing on my arm is a little weird, and plus it's right before Christmas. That would just
Christmas gift. You get the COVID. You get to spend 2 weeks in isolation.
It would just be the luck of it all. You know what I mean?
You should find out tomorrow.
You can only dodge it so many times.
Right.
We're all inevitably going to get it. So, I mean, maybe it's just my time.
Maybe we already had it. Who knows? I still think I had it.
I still think I had it too. We were so irresponsible when the real outbreak happened, dude. Remember you and me are taking the ferry. Did we really people on it, going to drinks in the city?
No, but I think I had it way before then. I think I had it before everyone thought before it was a thing. Only because I was sick as a dog that January, crazy sick.
That could be it, yeah. But before the outbreak happened, that doesn't mean it still wasn't here.
True, no, and the fact that, and I'm in a high where I work during the nights, a lot of traffic of people from other places coming in. And if I did, great. Which would explain why it's very tough to get it twice. Wow, I've been in such close calls with people, and I haven't been able to get it. I've been trying to get it so bad. I just can't get it.
You're vaccinated.
Well, beforehand.
Yeah, beforehand. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before, it just seems like, But
I was pretty irresponsible. So I mean, I would wear a mask. You know how I was. Like you, we need to wear a mask when not. I'm not going to wear one. And I
mean, I don't think that's being
around Boston.
It's not being really. Yeah, but that's not really being irresponsible. It's just using logic, because you didn't need to wear. There was no reason. No, but there was no reason for me to wear a mask on a fucking boat with only 2 people on it.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
You and me would not really walk. Everybody, I always thought it was stupid. You're along with me on this and wearing one on the sidewalks because we're outside. There's nobody near us, and it's like throwing sand at a chain link fence anyway. There's really no.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I'm watching. I get the news on. I get the TVs going on here, and Boston is all over the news for our communist mayor of Boston. Joining the likes of San Francisco, New York, and Chicago, of making it so it's impossible to go anywhere without showing your papers.
Well, she's trying to copy New York.
That's exactly what she's doing. This broad's so annoying. She's not even from Boston. This is the first mayor of Boston who's never even wasn't born or raised here. She moved here when she went to college. She's from fucking Chicago, which would explain exactly why her policies are the way they are. I don't know.
Now, the person she ran against, though, what was wrong with that person?
Her husband was a developer. And God forbid you're a developer in Boston. That's basically the only thing she had going against it. I don't know what they needed? An Italian or an Irish guy running for mayor, because that usually wins the case in Boston. I mean, it's really hard to shoot that down. And how did no guy want to run? Does no one want the job, or do they know this is just going to be such a shit show mayor of the city that they're just going to be able to slide in next election with no problem at all? I mean, that could be it too.
I wouldn't say she's sliding it towards a communist government. It's more like what Canada I can't even pronounce the word, totalitarianism.
I mean, what's the difference between communism?
Honestly, I think the difference is totalitarianism.
Yeah, I know exactly what you said. Yeah, totalitarianism. They make it so hard you don't even want it.
It's almost like communism, but a little bit more nice.
Yeah.
Just with a smile.
Yeah, it's like everything's friendlier in Canada. Even our communist national party, you know what I mean? Show us your papers. Yeah, it was funny when I went to the garden the other day, and you had first of all, they did a half-ass job checking. That goes away now because we figured we had it in. Like, all right, this is not such a big deal to go to a game. You just show your papers, and I felt like they split us up in lines. People who had the vaccination thing on their phone, and people who had to go for the test and everything, and they split you. And it felt like Nazi Germany where, like, you go this way and you go this way. I'm going to go on this train. You're going to go on that train. We had to go up different stairwells. But then you all just meet up in the middle. It makes no sense at all. It's such a show thing. It did nothing. As soon as you walk through the door, you scan your ticket, the masks are off. You're not going to contain 17,000 people. You know what I mean? Well, if a guy had a sign on an index card, right, that was about the size of my phone, and he was in like the second row, and it said, "Please wear your mask," but the font was so small, and everyone was like, "What the fuck does that guy have?" And I go, I know that sign says, "Please wear a mask," and the only reason I know that is because last season when they had like the half people in there or the quarter capacity, I remember seeing the guy pulling it out of his pocket. Hey, we'll wear a mask. Like, bro. I like how the mayor said though that the Boston that professional athletes are exempt from having to have the passport to go to places. So therefore, if you're a professional athlete, most of the basketball players aren't vaccinated. So if you coming in from a different city, you can go out to dinner and stuff, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can go and play in the arena. You can go to a brothel. Now, does that include strip clubs? Because it says restaurants.
Well, I mean, if a strip club serves food, probably.
Yeah.
Most of them don't.
Who's eating at a strip club? Unless you're desperate.
Asian guys.
Unless you're an Asian guy in Jacksonville.
Chicken wings.
A dirty strip club. Remember we almost died in the Uber to that strip club too? Oh, licking your fingers. Know how many dirty surfaces? Talk about God, those guys, their immunity must be phenomenal after that place. I'm telling you.
I don't know why that skeeves me out more than any stripper I could ever imagine in my life.
Dirty.
Gross. It's just gross.
Licking your fingers after eating wings at a strip club is dirtier than having sex with one of those strippers at the strip club, I think. You know what I mean? Because it's like, the mouth is such an intimate thing. Like, right? You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't go down on a hooker or a stripper, right? I mean,
but maybe you'd finger bang one in the back room.
Maybe you pay her to finger. you give her money to do stuff to her. Like it's not like she's doing stuff. You're paying her to do stuff to her. We may or may not know someone who did this.
Yeah, well, we may or may not.
Get in there. Kid disappeared for like 45 minutes. We managed to blow through a whole pack of Marlboro Reds by the time he got back. Chain smoking.
That was the last time I ever had a cigarette too.
That was probably last.
I had a cigar since then, but that was the last time I had a cigarette.
Yep, I would say I would say as well as myself. Looks I hadn't been in Vegas anytime after that, so usually it's a Vegas thing for me. Usually I get a pack of Marlboro Reds and a chain smoke. Only because a lot of those casinos you're not allowed to smoke cigars because of the smoke. So I just I burn through a cigarette in about 5 seconds. Like I'm not even inhaling. I'm just getting mouth cancer. It's great, Yeah. But so that's been our week. We hopefully we'll find out Mallet's results in the morning. We'll see if he's.
I'm like a day behind. Like today's Wednesday, but for some reason I thought it was Thursday. Like all week I've been a day off. Maybe because we have off Friday.
Yeah, it's the short week I think. Yeah, and then it's just a shit week. The week before Christmas is a garbage week for any company. Even the week after Christmas is garbage. People go away. Like it's a great time to go away because the kids are out of school. And if you're going away, you'd leave like tomorrow, and you just spend like the week and a half into the New Year's, into the and then you fly home on Sunday, which we might spend Christmas in Tennessee next year because it's you go down there, you leave, take the week off, enjoy yourself, relax, a little bit warmer, but that's the kind of thing you gotta do before the kids get too big, because when they get too big, then they want the whole fucking Christmas shenanigans and all that stuff. So I gotta go food shopping tomorrow for the Christmas Eve, and I'm highly hopefully everything. There's a lot of empty shelves in the grocery stores. I don't know if the last time you've been to a grocery store, but shit is running scarce. Target. Scarce, yeah. Fucking Target had nothing in there today either. It's all on a freighter ship out there in the fucking Pacific Ocean waiting to come in. It's a good thing you imagine the stress you'd be having right now if you were of your old company. Like, those fucking calendars just sitting on the boats.
That's true. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on with that. I don't even care to entertain the idea.
Right? Because you figure a calendar company makes all their money in December and late November, right?
Well,
because
it wasn't a calendar company. That's just
but I'm saying like the calendars. Yeah, they make all that. You people will pay full price for a calendar in November and December, right? Come January, once you start losing days on that calendar becomes less valuable. And then immediately after Christmas, like a couple weeks later, it's in that like. They're all clearance. The calendar store goes out of business in the mall every year. You know what I mean? So, how sad was the Square One Mall,
huh? Dude, that line was no freaking joke, though. I will say that. Like, that was.
I'm sure it was.
The other side of it.
I'm sure it was double the size it was when Sue went last week because it's just getting closer and closer. Where'd you I seen you wrapped around the building for the most part?
Just around like from where the that backside where like the Sears. Where the lot extends. It's not part of the Sears main part.
Yeah, it's the secondary part,
right? The
back
part where that extends.
Right.
Like starting there and then going down around that bend, like kind of almost where the corner of Dick's. I'll say at the corner of Dick's is where I was. And then there's just that one bend that goes right in.
And then once you get into the other park, they just like split you off. How many stations do they have going?
2.
That's it?
2.
Oof. Yeah, no wonder it took so long. And today was the last day for that station, right? They're getting rid of that one?
Yeah. Well, until like the new year, I think. Yeah.
Interesting. Till the National Guard comes in. Yeah. I'm watching a guy right now. I'm watching like footage of New York City right now of like this process of getting into restaurants, and like the people who are actually following it to the T. It seems very, very. It seems terrible to be able to go somewhere into a restaurant. Like it makes you know you want to go out. Is that the reason they want it? To make you not want to go out because it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, you got to fill paper. Remember when we had to go to put our phone number and shit in there and they found out a contact tracing doesn't even work?
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you had COVID, say you had COVID and we went out to eat, right? Like, most people aren't going to call a restaurant and be like, hey, listen, I was there last night and I got the COVID.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, I mean, they must have like something set up to actually respond to all of that. But I wonder, someone must do that. There's a Karen somewhere that did that.
Yeah, someone else. I took a COVID test today and I found that I was pregnant with twins. How's that happen?
I don't know.
And did they do the swab in your asshole at the Square One Mall?
Yeah, get out of your car, sir. Hands on the hood.
Yeah, I think they actually have anal swabs. I think they're like in China or something like that.
I mean, I would think that's probably more accurate than anything.
You think so?
It's going to be in your waist. It's going to be in your waist. Everything's in your waist.
That's true. I didn't think
there are certain world leaders that actually have a guy that personally disposes their own feces because they're afraid someone will steal it to see an enemy will steal their feces to see if there's anything wrong with them to use against them.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I was watching this documentary on YouTube yesterday about these. It was actually 2 videos. They led into each other, but they were about people who paid money to go stay in. I guess you can go to North Korea if you want. You pay money, and there's this tour guide that takes you around, and you're not allowed to leave the hotel without the tour guide. Once you're in the hotel, you're like jailed, and like the tour guide will take you to specific places, like the museums, and it's all like very orchestrated how it's done, but it's doable if you really wanted to go. I think it was about 5,000 euros. Because it was a European show, and this lady went with her friend because her father was from North Korea and he had escaped, and she wanted to go check it out and all this stuff. And then the other one was like these two kids who were like from France that went and did it, and it's very Truman Showish, you know. Like I think I would do it. Like if I didn't have a family and stuff, I'd probably go. Like if I was like adventurous, just to check it out, right?
I don't know,
it was funny though.
They could decide they just don't like the way you looked at them and put you in a fucking prison. I don't even want to try to be cool.
Well, they went over there, and one of the ladies was asked, which was questions in the history at the museum. Like they had some story about like this is what happened, and it's like all anti-U.S. stuff and everything like that. And a lady was like, well, what year did that happen? And the guy goes, between 1950 and 1955, but it was an event that would have happened in 1957, and it was clearly incorrect what they were talking about, and then all of a sudden they took him aside for 2.5 hours and like questioned him, because they pretty much think anyone who's not North Korean is a spy for the most part.
Spy, terrorist, something, yeah.
And that's when I found out that Kim Kwon-jin, whatever his name is, loves Italian food. And he had sent a guy over to Italy to learn how to cook Italian so he could personally have his personal Italian cook. And then he just said, well, he had a cook from Italy, and then he must have escaped. And then they trained a Korean cook to cook Italian food, which is very odd. It didn't look very appetizing. It didn't look very like authentic Italian. But
well, speaking of North Korea, so the suicide rate's probably going to go up in the next couple of days. They just banned laughing and drinking for 11 days.
Why?
For the anniversary of his father's death.
Laughing and drinking, huh?
For 11 days.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow. And you know what we should do? Take all the pain in the ass woke people.
Yeah.
Put them on we should send them there.
Yeah, we send them to North Korea. And speaking of Italians, here's our man of the hour right here, Anthony Devito, joining us.
Devito, what's going on?
Brother, how you doing?
Adam, Arty, how you doing?
What's up, man?
No, how you doing? You look so relaxed. Dude.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I'm chilling, man. I'm just watching Hawkeye, just relaxing.
Beautiful.
Good for you.
Where are you joining us from tonight?
Oh, I'm in Pakistan.
Good.
I'm in the mountains of Pakistan.
It's very comfortable for the Queen said. Yeah, the Queen City was Pakistan. You didn't know that?
Yeah, man. They call Charlotte and Burlington the Queen City, but here in Pakistan we also call ourselves the Queen City. And I'm trying to do a lot for the tourism of Pakistan. It's not what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
We have a lot of nice gray couches and fluffy pillows as well. So don't believe the hype and think that it's all warfare. A lot of Pakistan looks just like a cozy living room in Queens, New York.
Yeah. I like it makes sense. You're growing a beard. You're trying to fit in. You're trying to be like part of the people, right? It's like.
Yeah, I'm doing my best, man. I'm just trying to learn from them, and they're learning from me, and we have this. We just have this great circle of education going.
Right, and that's what we need more of in this world, because you know what? I don't think enough people know how it is to live in a Pakistani apartment.
No, man, I'm really just trying to be an ambassador for America.
Good for you.
Not enough people know. I'm doing everything I can to bring our culture over here.
Yeah.
I've handed out Kid Rock albums to everybody that I see, and really just trying to spread the good word.
Now, was that quote behind you knitted by a local Pakistani woman on the streets?
What'd you say? Say that again. Sorry, the reception here is bad.
The quilt behind you, was that knitted by a native Pakistani woman on the streets?
Yeah, this is a local shepherd did this.
That's nice.
She does great work.
Goat threads.
Her name is Ayanita, and I'll give you her. She has a Facebook, so I can give you her Facebook after this.
Good. Maybe I can locate her Etsy, because I need some gifts for the holiday season.
Oh, she's got a wonderful Etsy going. She's got great stuff, man. She's got a lot of these quilts. She's got a lot of leather bags that you could squirt water from, and she also does socks as well. So that's another thing she does.
Socks. Everyone needs socks.
Everyone needs socks. Right. She knows that.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking A. Well, thanks for joining us.
What you guys, man? What are you guys doing?
It's what is it? 7? It's 8:30 here in Boston. So it's gonna be what? Oh God, it's gonna be like crack at fucking dawn over there for you, right?
Crack at dawn here, man. It's just me and the roosters.
I feel like an episode of Borat.
Yeah, it's mainly
nice.
Borat sequels and spin-offs that are being filmed around me.
Now, Anthony, how's the comedy scene in Pakistan? Have you been getting out to many of the clubs?
Not great, man. I'll tell you this, man. They don't let you say a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
people here complain, that they can't say anything in this cancel culture times of ours. But down here in Pakistan, man, you got to read off. They write you your set, and you have to read it.
Oh God!
And it's I'll say, man, it's not great.
That's funny because we were just talking about North Korea right before you joined us, and how I was watching this documentary on these people that went over there. You can actually pay to go to North Korea if you want to. But
cool.
But
yeah,
they cater your trip to precisely what they want you to see, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's fucked up.
I'd love to see what Kim Jong-un does as a travel package.
Oh God!
I'd like to see what he thinks is a vacation.
You're right.
Like,
Well, Adam just said that you're not allowed to laugh or drink alcohol in North Korea for the next 11 days, which would be really tough for the comedy clubs, I think, over there.
I'd imagine the suicide rate's gonna go pretty high if they can't laugh or drink for 11 for that. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're allowed to do in North Korea outside of that.
Yeah.
I was always under the impression they weren't allowed to laugh or drink, so none of this is really news to me.
I know,
right? I thought so too. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they have much going on over there for entertainment purposes. Like, imagine being a stand-up in North Korea.
Obviously, I'm here in Pakistan as a diplomatic mission, but I don't really consider myself somebody who knows a lot about the world outside of this trip. My look-see of North Korea is it's not a lot of fun over there.
Yeah. Did you win this trip to Pakistan on, like, The Price is Right? Did you get, like, the showcase at the end of the game?
No, I won a local radio contest, and they were offering a trip to Pakistan. Yeah, man. Radio contests have gone downhill over the years. They used to give you, like a nice SUV or something, or tickets to see Phil Collins.
Right.
Yeah, things have taken a turn. Now they offer a ticket for one to Pakistan. I couldn't even bring my girlfriend. These bastards.
That sucks. There was these two ladies at the bar last night when I was working who were going. They just got divorced. They were freshly divorced, and they're like late 40s, early 50s, and they're going to Temptation Island in the Caribbean, where they have themed sexual nights where they just dress in different theme stuff, and they just find single guys to bang. Which I would assume that Pakistan probably doesn't have quite the
look that up right now.
the stuff going on.
No. We don't have. There's nothing like that. The women aren't allowed out at night.
Yeah.
I think that's actually probably the truth. But they can only come out during the day and shop for fruit, and then they have to go back home. So,
Adam, I think it was Temptation Resort. It wasn't in Bahamas. I'm sorry. It was in Cancun. Temptation Resort
it can't
Cancun.
Be, resort. Okay, yeah, because Temptation Island, that was a TV series.
Yeah, no, but it's kind of the same idea.
I'm looking for it. Temptation Resort.
Yeah, they were showing some pictures. The girls.
So it was it's like a swingers island.
Well, that's what I said to the ladies, and they didn't know what that was. And me and this pilot guy who was also sitting by had explained to him what a swinger was and how this works. And I go, well, you guys are probably supposed to bring someone with you because that's how the swingers things work. You can't just show up and expect to swing.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure within the swinger community, you can't just show up and decide you want to fuck everybody.
It's tough. I mean, sometimes you may be welcomed, and sometimes an overweight guy will be getting in there and looking for a condom and telling you to get in there, and then sometimes
right, because I think the whole idea. I mean, I don't know. I've never done it. I'm not, obviously knocking anybody. But I think the whole idea is that like there's some kind of reciprocal action. You know what I mean? Like,
you would think,
hey,
right?
I get to have sex with your wife. You get to have sex with mine. I don't think you just walk in there and just be like, I want to bang your wife.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna eat your chicken fingers.
You'd be surprised.
I don't think it's specifically actually for that, but there's definitely some shit goes on here where I'm sure you could find that.
So the theme nights they were telling me about. So one theme is the Naughty Santa night where they dress in sexy Santa outfits. Another one was a glitter night.
First of all, already sexy. You don't got to do a goddamn thing.
Well, they were showing.
Claus is looking good.
Right. I mean,
gastronomic ecstasy.
Well, I don't know what that is. What's that?
That's some kind of food-related
yes,
orgasm.
Some strawberry stuff. I see.
Oh, wow.
Topless optional areas and signature playgrounds. Signature playground.
You know what that is, Adam. Signature playground.
I gotta say,
I'm sure it's nice.
It looks like a great place.
Hey, listen, I'm sure it's nicer than an old auto body shop in a suburb of Atlanta on a dead-end street.
Hey, some people are into that.
Not saying I haven't been to something like that before, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't knock those orgies that happen in an auto body shop. Some of my best orgies.
It's a lot of sharp objects you got to be aware of. You know what I mean? You can get yourself hurt. But me and my wife were looking for a house a couple years ago. We walked into this open house, and they had these people didn't think they should take down their sex swing in their master bedroom. Maybe they thought that was a selling point, but there was a sex swing just hanging there next to the bed. And I'm like, oh, look at that, hon. This is either gonna break or make the sale.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Or you have to be like, great, now we have to sell a sex swing. I don't even know how you go about doing that.
Like, is this thing screwed into a stud? Because I don't want to put too much weight on this thing and it rips out of the sale.
That thing being ripped down pretty easily.
So Anthony, before you made it to Pakistan, are you from New York?
I'm from North Jersey, so I'm from like super close to Manhattan.
Gotcha.
I'm from Bloomfield, New Jersey, Essex County.
Essex County, nice. That's right off. North end of Essex County.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Are you guys are both from Boston, I imagine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
These days, we used to shit on Jersey a lot, but you know, the state of the world these days, Jersey actually doesn't seem like a bad place to be if you have to be close to New York.
No, man. Jersey gets a horrible rap.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey's a beautiful place. At one point was the embroidery capital of the world. Great tomatoes, excellent beaches.
Selling it.
No, Jersey is so nice, and people are always so pleasant. Like, people are like, it's just expecting to find some complete wasteland.
Yeah.
And they get to New Jersey, and they're like, I didn't know you guys had trees.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, man, what do you think? They're like, you guys have hospitals? Wow. I thought it was just all pizza places and fighting, and it's like a lot of it is, but we do have hospitals as well.
I will say the Jersey Turnpike kind of has its own smell.
Just the north part, though. Like the first, 10
exactly
miles
it.
up there.
There's a small stretch of the Jersey Turnpike which smells like industrial waste.
Yes.
But the rest of the state is fine, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like going to a Giants game and smelling burned crude oil over the horizon.
Well, gets you ready for the game, man.
It's like all the pollutants on one quarter of the state. No, I was shocked when I was a kid. I went down to Six Flags down in there in was it Cherry Hill, Jackson, yeah. And it was all farms. I was like, "What the fuck are we?"
Yep.
I'm like, "It's Jersey,
man.
like it's farms." It just blew my mind.
Tons of farms, tons of corn, tons of tomatoes. Come on down, man. I'll give you a tomato.
Jerry,
Great corn.
Are you How long are you when you're not living in Pakistan? Are you in New York for the time, or you permanently?
Yeah, I live, usually, if I wasn't hired, obviously, by the government to go on this peacekeeping mission, I usually live in Queens, New York. And if you go to my website, apparently my address is on there.
That's good.
If you want to go over, and I don't know how to fix it. And I've been told by multiple people that they messaged me and they said, you know that one of the links on your website is, I believe, your home address. And I go, yeah, well, I don't know about that.
After this show, you're either going to get hate mail or anonymous love letters. So it's either going to work out the way for you. So.
Yeah, man, whatever, man. Just show up. I'm open to both.
I'm glad
In fact, allow me to win you over. If you hate me right now, give me a chance.
Just hope you don't start getting like audio equipment left at your doorstep.
Man, I would love it if someone would leave audio equipment at my doorstep. Any wire you want to bring over to me, I'll enjoy.
There you go.
That happened to me, actually, and I threw it into the fucking dumpster because I was being stalked at the time. That was a long time ago. I had just like a surround sound stereo system delivered to my doorstep. It was used, and it said, like, I thought you might need this. If not, just pass it along. And I'm like, there's fucking probably an explosive in this. It's hidden camera, something, and I just fucking threw it out. It was fucked up.
Wow. So where did you throw it? Where did you put it? In the river?
In the fucking tree. Yeah, in the
yeah,
fucking
where we put our bodies up here in Boston. Similar to what you guys do in Jersey. Dump them in the river.
Yeah, we mainly dump them in the river in Jersey.
It's easier that way.
Man, I've never been stocked with audio equipment. That's interesting, though.
That's weird. But I am glad they have Hawkeye for you to watch over there in Pakistan.
Oh, yeah, it's nice of them to do. It's not the same Hawkeye that you guys know. It's a totally different show.
It's not the event.
Yeah, it's literally about a hawk.
You know what?
It's a nature
I'd
program.
rather watch that than Jeremy Renner. He's like the worst. He's like the least favorite Avenger out of all of them, for me anyway. I freaking hate Hawkeye. I can't stand
Oh yeah, man. I can't speak for Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, but this Hawk is a pretty good actor, I'd say.
Jerry Renner is one badass fucking bank robber. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I can't stand him. I remember he had his own app a couple of years ago, and they had to discontinue it because so many people were making fun of him for it. And he was calling himself Ren Dog and playing his guitar on it all the time.
That's hot.
I love when an actor just, they go, man, I can do nothing wrong.
Right.
And then they try to just be themselves for a second, and people are like, no, man, we hate you.
It's like every musician who thinks they could do stand-up comedy. Like when John Mayer decided he was going to do stand-up, and he says, "Oh, I'm on stage." It says, "I can just do condom," and people are like, "Yeah, you're not funny." Like it's
it's such sweet justice when you see like somebody, because it happens with like a lot of reality television stars as well, where they'll be like, "Oh, I could just do stand-up."
Right. There's nothing more pleasurable than seeing someone bomb on stage. It's almost as fun. I enjoy seeing my friends bomb when we're doing stand-up, just because it's just funny, because you just see the panic in their eyes. But it's even funnier and more, I would say, pleasurable to myself when you see someone, like you said, who does like reality, just thinks they can just go up there and tell jokes, and they absolutely suck. And it's just like, you're just eating a dick right now, and this is great. It's just like
like when I watch it goes through a cycle, because at first I think it's I have that feeling of like, man, well deserved how bad this is going. But then at some point I see them as a person and I feel bad. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, yeah, this is exactly what you deserve. And then after like a few minutes, I'm like, nobody deserves this.
Yeah, it's like the hecklers. Nothing like seeing someone who's not used to heckling get heckled.
Yeah, it's like their own fans. You know what I mean? Like they don't even like their fans have turned on them. It's like, oh man, you don't even know. This isn't even a neutral crowd that doesn't like you. These people loved you.
Yeah. Now they hate you.
Vehemently dislike you.
I guess the downfall of Jeremy Renner's app, though, was they discovered that the app's alerts made it seem as if users' replies to a comment came from Renner himself. So people are writing replies to other, and it was exploited by a bunch of people, and they just ended up ripping it apart to shreds and like making fun of him.
The idea? What was the inception of the app?
Right.
What was?
Him just trying to connect with fans and think he was cool and want to show off some of his other skills.
Oh, okay. So he designed a whole app.
Well, somebody did. He just jumped on board.
I don't know, man. I kind of love that. It's crazy.
So did his app have his home address on it as well, so that you could accidentally click on it?
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
That's where I got the idea from Renner. I saw he did it, and I went, "That's a pretty good way to drum up business."
If you know it's one of those things where like a chick could just stalk you and you'd be like, all right, just show up at your house. But then like in like in our minds, we think it's cool if like a chick just showed up at a house, like, oh, but then you think about it and you really dissect it and you realize the reason they showed up is because they're fucking crazy. Because what person just shows up at someone's house that's not invited?
Yeah, they're going to want to fuck you and then murder you exactly right afterwards.
Exactly.
They want to use your skin as a lampshade.
Yeah.
But here's if they do that, they don't realize I'm crazier than them.
Exactly. You're in here with me.
Man, I left my address so you would show up.
So you're like the guy on American Psycho. You just like come into my house and listen to some Huey Lewis in the news while I cut you up. I don't even have to go there and look for you and kidnap you.
I know. I got my whole tech set up.
You got to put the.
I'm like fun crazy, but I don't have the heart.
Yeah, you don't have to cut someone up on.
Like I watch Dexter. I watch Dexter, and I go, I can never do what he does.
Yeah. No, I was. We were talking with someone recently. There was a body found up here in Massachusetts, which happens sometimes, and they found it within a day. And I go, well, they didn't. First of all, they didn't dig a hole. And like Joe Pesci says, you're going to make sure you dig the hole first, because next thing you know it, you're out there digging holes all night for people coming around finding you digging a hole because you're burying a body. And they found this poor lady. She was like murdered, and they just dumped the body on the side of the road, and they didn't even bother digging a hole. And then we started talking about Dexter, and there was this episode of Dexter where down in Florida, what they did was they went to the supermarket and they got hams, like like Easter hams, and they wrapped them. They got a bunch of them and tied them to the bodies. And then they threw them out into the Everglades for the alligators to eat. And then they just went for the ham and then just ate the body, and there was nothing left. And I go, I wonder if that actually really works, and how much time has to go by for this to actually, make the body disappear. Yeah.
What also a thing to learn that we're so not delicious that we need to be lured in with ham.
Right? You know exactly.
It's like when to get a dog to take its medicine, you got to give it cheese.
Right.
Man, we're so gross tasting. We need a bunch of ham for these goddamn alligators to eat us.
It's like when,
that makes me so sad.
It's like when sharks bite people, they don't like the taste of humans, so they usually bite your foot off and then swim away.
I always had a problem with that Pesci comment, though, because I look at it this way. If you dig the hole 1st
Mhm.
and you leave the hole there for a certain amount of time, what if someone comes by, sees there's this empty hole, and then some other time goes by there later? It's like, wait, now that hole is filled.
Well, I'm
What's
thinking
going
more
on?
of someone uses your hole with another body, and you're like, fuck, that was my hole to put the body in.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that playful mayhem happens all the time out in the woods between killers. Hey, I called this hole. Well, you got to mark it.
Yeah, right? Exactly. You got to put some kind of symbol on it. You know, like when you golf and you have a little, like, you put the quarter or the marker down on the green so you know it's yours.
Get your own homicidal real estate.
Yo, so are you affiliated with any people in the mafia at all, being from North Jersey?
Oh yeah, well my dad was involved.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go.
But he died when I was a baby.
Oh, okay. So just, you get the story. You got an uncle who probably raised you and took you under the wings?
No, I mean I was raised by all women. I was raised by my mom, my grandma, and 4 aunts. So I was kind of kept away from my father's involvement. That was not my side of the
Oh,
family.
is that true? Is it? Or you, oh shit! Oh, I was just kind of going
yeah.
a stereotypical
I
Jersey
get that's
comment.
kinda crazy to like say after I said I was like living in Pakistan at the beginning of this
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it's pretty nuts. Yeah, I've been doing a show about it in New York and taking it on the road a little bit. But yeah, no, he died when I was a baby, so I didn't really know anything. My mom kind of lived through it,
Yo.
and I kind of know whatever, like anyone could kind of learn on the internet just by Googling his name. And I obviously my mom has told me some stories here and there, but
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I didn't or anything.
Oh damn, that's freaking crazy. That's like
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
those are the days, because I'm assuming you're probably closer around our age. So
Yeah.
like back in like the
Yeah, I'm
70s.
22. So I don't know how old you guys are.
Yeah, me too. It's crazy.
Oh, right? Yeah, me too.
We're all a bunch of Zers, right?
Yeah, we just graduated high school in the late 2000s. It was great.
I'm in a time machine, actually. I'm back in the year 1995.
That's right. He's in a Blockbuster video, so. No, it is kind of crazy though. Like back in those days, when you compare like organized crime to like the crime that happens these days, right? At least they didn't bother other people. It was kind of like a respected type of thing that went down. They dealt with their own people. They dealt with their own problems. Don't mess with them. They respected the communities, and no one they weren't like. Like if you look at Chicago, for example, and people just shooting and they're not knowing how to shoot a gun, so you're hitting grandmothers and kids playing in the playground and stuff, and it's like that shit would never happen. Like we had this mob hit up in Boston back in the 90s, and it was at a 99 restaurant, like a family pub, and this boss that was from Boston was getting visited by someone from California, and they knew he was up here, and the guy literally walked into the restaurant in the middle of the afternoon, popped the guy in the head, walked out, and that was it. And it was nothing else was said and done, and it was taken care of, and they didn't bother anyone else. It's what I mean. It was kind of done in a way that I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but
yeah. Well, it seems like it's a part of the business of being involved in that kind of thing, where it's like, oh well, it's like, well, this is just part of it. There's murder by way of a gun, you
Right.
know. And that's just part of how we operate within this world.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not to say that they're taking that world outside. I mean, actually, it's very it's to your disadvantage to do that, because then you're attracting unwanted attention.
Right.
So you
Exactly.
want to keep it you want to keep it in the realm of where that's acceptable,
Mhm.
that violence, away from civilians, because then once you get involved in that, that's when the cops sort of have to come in and
just stop paying them off.
Yeah.
It definitely depends where that violence is coming from too. Like if you take that, like the mafia back in the day, they wouldn't kill family members. They would go right after the guy. It was more business. But take some of these Mexican cartels. they'll
That's
kill
a whole
you,
different
your
story.
Family.
Yeah.
They'll kill you, your family, anybody in the vicinity of you that even looks. They don't give a fuck. There's no honor anymore into that. I mean, it's weird to say honor amongst people who are freaking murderers, but still, it's different.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh.
It's a long distance phone call.
Sorry, the FBI is calling me.
Yeah, right. We're being tapped. I say it half jokingly sometimes, but kind of mean it. I go the city of Boston back in the day when you had the Italian mob in the north end, and you had Whitey running the south end part of the South Boston part of town. The city was, I wouldn't know if it was necessarily safer, but it was a little more, I don't know. You didn't have stupid crimes and stupid stuff. It almost felt like people kind of knew their place, and like no one really bothered with anyone, and the police were kind of, maybe they were corrupt a little bit, but at least they weren't like busting balls for stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like now you look at times now where you need a vaccination passport to go to a fucking restaurant. Everyone's, people are fighting on the streets of, New York and all these major cities, Chicago stuff for no reason, and there's no organizations. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't such a bad thing back then when you had organized crime when compared to the way where things are in this world these days. You know what I mean?
In some ways, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I would definitely take that question to my mom and see how she.
Well, yeah, it's a different story when someone's
But I really don't know. I'm somewhat ignorant to it, just in the sense that like I was kept pretty. I really only know the story in terms of like our story.
Yeah.
Pertaining to it, but like I was purposely shielded from that because of what happened to my father and like the violence and the suffering that ensues when you're like involved in that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and we all see movies and stuff, and we get an idea of how like the families are affected by it. And yeah, absolutely. Like just I can only put like you think of Goodfellas, and you think of like Karen Hill and the kids. Like you think of the kids, and they have to deal with the dad being taken away. It's tough. I can imagine, but it's
totally. But yeah, going back to what you're saying, it would be fun though to have like crime bosses in these like high positions in like politics. Just put them everywhere to just see what a different world we have if you have an Italian guy in a pinstripe suit with a gun in a writer's room being like, no, that joke stays. Just put them.
Imagine that. Yeah.
The problem is though, it's like we sit here and we say like, oh yeah, maybe it would have been better, but really would have been, because how did these people make their money? Sex trafficking, drug dealing.
Yeah,
they would
it's
just
all
do
crap
it
shit. Yeah.
Else, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you didn't hear about it as much because they would keep it low. And should somebody be able to command all that, because they're still breaking the law? They're still doing a bunch of fucked up shit. They might be keeping their block, their little niche safe, but like in the end, they're still spreading bad shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they know what they're doing is like, they know obviously just by way of the law that it's bad, but also by way of like just like basic human morality.
Right. Yeah.
They have to like think about all that they have to do for people to be like, no, these are good. Like they have to hand out turkeys on Thanksgiving to be like, look, we're good people.
Right.
Like think about like everything Bill Cosby had to do to be like, no, I'm a good guy.
Right.
Good guy. What are you talking about?
That's like Whitey Bulger in South Boston. He used to be like a big community guy. He would go and do the same, like what you said. He would buy groceries for people. He would take care of all the people in the neighborhood and stuff. But he was, killing people and hiding them in basements and stuff like this.
Yeah, man. You only do that if you know you're doing something horribly wrong. Like, man, when do you ever give a girl flowers? You know what I mean? Like, you've done something heinous.
True, exactly. Yeah, it's actually funny if you think about that. Yeah, when was the only time you actually did something out of the goodness of your heart to help people? Because you usually have these skeletons in your closet, and you're not doing it out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah, man, and they have literal skeletons.
Right.
That's true.
It's when you think about it. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good point, because I think about every single time I'm going to go donate stuff to society, but I'm like, I just got a hooker last night, so I got to feel better about that, so my morale can even off a little bit, right?
Yeah, man. Think about, exactly, man. I eat a salad after like, man, I'm hammered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the night before. I'm like absolutely horrible to my body. I'm like, it's time for a vegetable.
That's why.
That's it.
That's why Catholic priests are so willing and giving, because of all the shit they do.
Yeah, man. They know that they're molesting altar boys. So they're just like they're doing anything they can to throw you off the scent.
It's like I diddled little Bobby O'Leary the other day, but hey, here's free bread for the neighborhood. I'm the goodness of my heart.
Isn't that great? I made these cookies.
That's right.
That Bobby's gonna hand out. Don't worry why he's crying.
Bobby's ass feels like he spent the weekend in Provincetown, so it's like he's walking around.
Or Bobby O'Leary.
Yeah. Oh man, well that's crazy, man. That's a so you talk about the stuff in this little show you do, like you bring it around. Yeah.
So basically, it's like a stand-up storytelling one-man show. I don't really know what to call it.
Yeah.
It's stand-up. It's just like there are like some real sincere moments, because there has to be.
Right.
But yeah, I've been doing it in New York for like I want to say like I mean, since I was doing it a couple months before the pandemic started,
Yeah.
and then picked back up again when things opened up again. But I'm actually coming to Mass to do it. Laugh Boston on I think January 26th.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
sweet.
Nick's Bar in Worcester on January 27th. So I'm coming to Boston.
Oh,
to do it.
damn. We'll have to go check that out.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
let's do it.
Yeah, probably the Worcester show. That's probably yeah.
Get you guys in or whatever.
Damn, that'd be awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I want to hear it because it's like, I think it's comedy. Like, remember, who's the guy who was on Saturday Night Live? He did the Weekend Update. Not Noah McDonald, but the he does a one-man show around New York.
Oh, Daryl Hammond?
No, not Darryl Hammond. After fucking, he's he was in all fucking Adam Sandler movies and stuff. I'm looking at him. I can't even think of it. But he does like a one-man show, and it's basically what he does. He goes through like and tells stories, and he just like tells stories about his life and history and stuff. But it's a comedy. It's like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he peppers it up in a way he needs to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Because I really wanted to do it as like because I never really talked about it ever on stage, and then I wanted to, and then as I was doing it stand up, it was just too complicated for people to accept as
Right.
just like a stand up chunk. So I was like, oh, I think this needs to be like a whole show. But I had never done that before. I'm just a stand up. So like the idea of being like sincere and somber on stage
Mhm.
is something I've never wanted to do. But unfortunately, the tone of the show just calls for those moments. So it kind of has to be done like that. But the moments that aren't like that, I definitely try to make as funny as possible.
Arty, you talking about Dennis Miller?
No, not Dennis Miller. Oh God.
No. Seth Meyers?
Nope. Before it's like he's 90 Saturday Night Live. He pretty much
Bill
just
Hader.
did Weekend Update. I can't think of his name.
Kevin Nealon?
No, God.
I have the whole.
He sings a song going back to Brooklyn.
Colin Quinn?
Colin Quinn, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
Yeah, his
yeah,
one man
he's
show.
like-
It's pretty good. Yeah.
He's incredible at it.
So you're coming up to Boston. So how long have you been doing comedy for?
About 12 years.
Okay. How'd you get into it? Just kind of one night, just went up to an open mic and said you wanted to do it and just did it?
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, no. It was more like drawn out than that for me. Like I always was obsessed with comedy as a kid, and I
Yeah.
loved it so much. But I was super shy, so I never thought I could be the one that was up there. So I would write a lot, but I never had any intention of kind of doing anything with
Right.
the material.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to New York, I started doing improv, and I really loved it. And it was fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I liked writing jokes so much, and also in improv, like if I failed, the whole team would fail,
Right.
and that was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Was like if you bomb, it's just you bombing. So like I don't mind taking complete ownership of that. So I just started going to mics, and then it just kind of started working out, and then just kind of momentum built, and then eventually I was a working comic.
That's basically how I started, too. I always wanted to do it, and I wasted 10 years of my life watching my buddy do it. And then I did improv classes at Improv Boston, and it got me my stage confidence. And then I just went to an open mic one night, and like you said, just started writing jokes and stuff like that. And that's how I kind of ended up all fabricating and just doing stand-up and stuff. So it's like, that's funny. Yeah, it's weird. Like the first day, the first time you do it, it's like it's the weirdest thing because like you get this adrenaline rush, this build up to get on stage, and once you're up there, you either feel comfortable or you don't. And then after you get off stage, it's like this fucking adrenaline rush. It's like you just did heroin. It's like, I got to keep on doing this. And you just want to hit every mic, every day, every week. You know what I mean? You just don't give a fuck,
Yeah, it's such a different feeling. Like, because I know, like, people always talk about, like, you get some of that feeling from you making your friends laugh in, like, a living room.
Right.
But there really is, like, no crazier feeling than, like, a wall of laughter coming back at you after you've said something that's, like, you kind of, like, thought of already.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so much satisfaction there that once you get that, and especially if you're, like, drawn to it in the beginning, you're done for, man. You're
Right.
hooked. You're in.
Yeah, it's something special about making strangers laugh. That really kind of gets you. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
like when I was a kid, my goal was to make like my grandmother to laugh. You know what I mean? If I get her to laughing, it was a good move. And then like if my parents, I get them laughing, and like they're the tough cookies. Like if because usually when you try to make them laugh, you're being a smart ass and you're pissing them off.
Yeah.
But if you can break that bridge, like my son, he's 2 years old, he'll do shit.
Right.
I know he's not trying to do it on purpose, but he'll make me laugh, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to laugh, but he's fucking hilarious right now. Like he doesn't even
Why are
know.
you supposed to laugh?
I mean, because maybe he's like playing with matches and trying to set the house on fire. But the way he's doing it's so funny. So it's like, I can't encourage this because, I'm not going to have a house, you know what I mean? But
yeah. You're like, he's like drunk driving and stuff.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's destructive, but, it's kind of, I can find the humor in it because I'm dark like that, you know what I mean? It's like,
That's funny.
I think that's the biggest goal right there. But, so, we're getting close to the end, but tell us, where can we find your shit and where can we go online, find all your information, get your tour dates and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. Follow me on Instagram at comedian Anthony Devito. And then if you want, hit up my website, anthonydevitocomedy.com. I put all my dates on there. And then, if you're in the Boston area, you're listening to this, you want to come see me do my one-man show, I'll be at Laugh Boston Wednesday, January 26th, and Nick's Bar in Worcester on January 27th. So,
I think maybe we'll go to Worcester. I want to do that the 27th, that Thursday. That would be, maybe we'll go out there for a little trip. It's only, from where you are, it's only about 40 minutes, so it's not too far. So.
Yeah. Oh, sick, man. Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Anthony, before you go, I got to ask, if you were to walk into my video store right now, what movie would you rent? Like, right now, what would you be feeling?
Oh, I would rent Under Siege, man.
Fuck, some Seagal?
Yeah.
Good movie.
Nice.
Dude.
All right. So
And I throw every other video on the floor and walk out with Under Siege.
All right, my friend.
All right, everybody. Anthony DeVito, thanks for joining us, brother. Have a
All
good
right,
night.
See you guys. Happy holidays.
You too.
Hey, Arty, have you heard about that new movie, Constipation?
No, why? Is that what you have right now?
Well, no, it hasn't come out yet.
Oh, it's a good one. I know a joke I did last night at the bar. I go to this server. She's like this new young girl, and I go, what do you like better, apple juice or OJ? And she goes, I like apple juice. And I go, you know what? A lot of people like apple juice. I go, you know why? And she's like, why? I go, because apple juice doesn't murder their wife. But she was so young, she didn't get the joke. Like, she's like 19, 20 years old, and she's like, I don't get it. And I go, oh, that's like an old man joke right there.
Yeah.
Because if I said that joke to like someone our age, they would think it was funny. It's like, look at that. It's an OJ joke. Who's making OJ jokes 30 years later? But,
Yeah.
Damn. He's a funny kid. Anthony, I don't call him a kid, but he's like probably our age. But
yeah, good guy.
I was totally joking around with the whole mafia thing. I'm doing the stereotypical New Jersey thing, but damn, that's some fucking crazy shit.
I know. Yeah, I didn't see that going that way.
No, that's really interesting. We definitely should go out and check out that show because I think it'd be really, really interesting.
Yeah, we should. You want to go to the Worcester one? Isn't he doing one in Boston, he said? Boston.
Yeah, but it requires passports and shit to
fuck.
get. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
We'll still be fun. Go out there. I bet we can get Danger Powers to come off us.
Yeah.
Be a night out Thursday night. Thirsty Thursdays in Worcester. All the girls from Asylum College will be out there ready to party.
Party guy.
Worcester Polytech. You know, the good old stuff. Well, this is our last episode before the Christmas. Before Jesus' birthday. For those who celebrate the birth of Jesus. Even the Jewish people, they believe in Jesus. They just don't think he's their God, but they do believe he exists.
We do have one episode before the new year, though.
We do. We have one more episode left in this fine year of the Lord, 2021. Slightly better than 2020.
Slightly.
A little bit.
A little bit.
It's like you're almost there. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like the first 2020 was like the first time you try to have sex with a girl and just you couldn't close the deal, and it was just a lot of disappointment, a lot of hand jobs. And like 2021, you're close, you're finally figuring it out, but you're not quite there. You're almost like the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl in the early '90s, right? You're just getting so close. You almost win a game, and then a field goal goes fucking off the side of the fucking pole, and you know.
I can't even give it that much. I feel like 2020 was like I saw like the blurry Spice Channel on the box and I didn't get it. It's like it was scrambling, but I could see some stuff. And then 2021 was, I saw a boob.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's actually it makes both sense. So what do you think 2022 is going to bring us? Joy?
Maybe we'll buy the Spice Channel, but I hope
2020
blows.
I gotta tell you, 2022 is not going to have any joy in the city of Boston. So it's going to be a pain in the ass for everyone. It's just not gonna. It's unnecessary and it's not gonna work out. That's my opinion. Take it as you need it, but I just think it's a lot of stuff's unnecessary at this point. But I don't know, watch out for the Omicron. They might get you. And hopefully Adam doesn't have the Omicron. We'll find out tomorrow. Otherwise, he's isolated in his fucking Blockbuster Video for a week.
I am.
Or you could be like our boss and just go out to stores and fucking neglect the whole quarantine thing. Because why would you even bother at that point? You might as well be a super spreader event.
Might as well. Like chicken pox. Let's just have a party.
I like how the fact that you would just want to make sure you're clear just so you can have that stuffing.
Fuck yeah, I want my grandma's stuffing, man. I want to sit down and have dinner with my family.
I hear you. I feel you, man. You don't want to
I
be
don't
like
want to sit here all by my. That's
pretty
sit
depressing.
By myself, it's fine. But knowing
Yeah.
that my mom and my uncle are just like sitting like.
Where's Adam?
He's like, you can wave to him from the window.
You could be like Eric, who eats macaroni and cheese by himself on Christmas Day, which I think is the saddest thing I've ever. I've invited him over several times. He's like, no, I just want to sit in my apartment and watch. He watches Die Hard and eats macaroni and cheese on Christmas Day.
Well, now he's got somebody to do that with. So good for him.
I guess so. Maybe she leaves him and just like, peace out, Cub Scout. If he's allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right, Mr. Mallet, what are you plugging?
You always check out The World with Potato on YouTube. It's there. Always working on shit.
You can get it baked, mashed, super baked. What do they call that when they put the extra cheese and the sour cream on it? To the max.
Like it's just loaded.
Yeah, loaded. That's what it is. Yeah, loaded. You can get the loaded potato.
Oh, it's gonna be a baked potato tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
That's what she said.
Wink, wink.
Constipated. She hasn't come out yet. And you get me on wizarty.com, Arty with a Y. And we'll see you guys next week for the last show of 2021. Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Merry Christmas. Bye.